Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head through to Glasgow and we're going to revisit a brewery that I introduced you to only quite recently on the channel, but they've quickly become a firm favourite of mine. So we're going to go to West Brewery, who are a German style brewery based next to Glasgow Green, and we're having a taste of their flagship beer today. This one is the St Mungo, which is a lager beer coming in at 4.9%, named after the patron saint of Glasgow and Strathclyde, and I know that this is a very good beer. I tried this one when I did my little brewery visit, and that was probably one of my two favourite beers that I had during that little video that I made. That will be published by the time this one comes out, of course, so make sure you check that out. You can also check out my review of the Dunkel that they've brewed for Aldi as well, and I'm sure I'll review more beers from these guys in the near future, but I just felt I had to do a review of their flagship beer. So I really hope you guys enjoy this one. I'm looking forward to trying this beer again, and we'll see how we get on. So anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery before we taste the beer. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from West Brewery before. No doubt I will add some more at some point in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the home page and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlists of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Scottish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's being added to whenever I get the opportunity. And as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, on to my brewery notes then to tell you a little bit about West Brewery. So the West Brewery was founded back in 2006, and it really struggled initially, but then the company was bought by German Petra Wetzel in 2008, and it's been built up quite considerably since then. So she's originally from the Franconia area of Germany, from what I understand, which is a very famous brewing region. It's that you can find it at the top of Bavaria. And you know, there's something in there's somewhere in the region of around 300 breweries, which makes it the most highly densely. It's the area in the world that has the highest density of breweries per head of the population, so a very good place to come from if you want to start up a brewery, of course. But they opened their beer hall, which is called West on the Green, and you saw that in my video, and they brewed their beers in a small brewery just adjacent to that. But in 2016 they invested £5 million in a new brewery, and today this brewery can be found in the old Templeton building, which again is just the building that's west on the green. And this new facility has increased their brewing capacity to 25,000 hectolitres of beer per year. But all of the beers are brewed in accordance with the German Reinheitsgebot, the purity law from 1516 that I believe began in Bavaria, and as of September 2019 they've produced 27 different types of beers, mainly of German styles of course, but there are a few stouts and things in there too. There was a stout on the taps when I was actually in West on the Green, but at the moment they're just going through a phase of transferring the ownership of the brewery to the employees, and over the next 25 years Petra Wetzel I think will gradually be bought out of the company and retired, but I'm guessing as the founder she probably will still be active in it to some degree. I think she said she was going to maintain like 10% of the shares or something like that. But really cool to find a German style brewery here in Scotland. You know, a lot of Scottish people do quite like Germany, and you know, the German beers are, you know, quite well respected over here and things like that too. So as I say, very cool to find a German owned and German style brewery through in Glasgow. So this is definitely one that you want to check out if, like me, you enjoy your German style beers. I think this is the West on the Green is a place that I'll need to take my good friend Peter over at the Clueless Drinker as well. I've got a feeling that he would really enjoy it. But yeah, that's all you really need to know about West Brewery for the moment. Definitely check out the West on the Green, a really nice German style restaurant and bar, and you know, check out some of their beers as well. But if you want to learn more about the brewery, of course you can check out the brewery website in the description below. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with all the latest goings on, and I would recommend you check out the Rate Beer and Untappd pages as well if you want to see the lists of all the different beers that they've done. So yeah, let's get on to the actual tasting of this beer itself then. So as I mentioned to you, this one is a 4.9% lager beer. It's kind of standard for German strength. Most German beers kind of sit around, you know, sort of 4.5 to 5.2-ish%. You do get some that are a little bit heavier than that, of course. Doppelbock and a few Maibocks and things like that can be like that. It says on the back here, West St Mungo lager is brewed in strict adherence with the German purity law, the oldest food law in the world. West has selected only the finest malt and the most noble hops to create a deceptively easy drinking, light and golden lager, brewed in honour of Glasgow's patron saint and fellow brewer St Mungo. Didn't know he was a brewer. Premium lager, St Mungo Premium Lager is naturally carbonated and can be enjoyed on its own or equally well with food, best when served chilled to induce that full heavenly pleasure. So yeah, it's been awarded a gold medal too, which is kind of cool. But yeah, really nicely presented, this one. There you can see St Mungo just chilling in his little shiny sticker bit. But yeah, really nicely presented, and the artwork is quite, it is German style, but it's quite unique in its sort of modernity, if you like. There you can see on the little top label, that is actually the outline of the Templeton building, which is the West on the Green Bar. I think that's really cool. If you go to that, it's an old carpet factory that dates from the end of the 19th century. It's a really pretty building actually, and there you can just see the West brewery symbol again on the bottle cap of this one. But yeah, lovely presented beer this. Let's get it out and into the glass and just see how we get on. So as I say, a 4.9% Pilsner beer. Nice little bit of smoke on the opening, and we'll get it out and into the glass. So I have to, when I was at the West on the Green, they had a few different styles. The wheat beer apparently is the favourite amongst their staff, and it was really quite nice actually. They had a few different types of Dunkels. They had the Dunkel that I tried in the bottle from Aldi was you know, what I would more associate with a Dunkel, but the one that they had in the bar was actually a little bit darker, kind of almost bordering on a Schwarzbier or Czech Tmavi or whatever. So it'd be interesting to see these guys do a Rauch beer and a Doppelbock. They probably have done one of those at some point. So I'd love to try that. I'd love to review a West Doppelbock or a West Rauch beer for you on the channel. Those are probably my two favourite styles of German beer, along with the Helles and the Dunkel. But yeah, as you can see with this beer, it's poured a lovely pale golden straw colour. It is actually quite clear, but the condensation is kind of going around the glass on this, so just be aware of that. But if you shine the light through this, absolutely crystal clear. One or two big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, and quite a few little ones just heading up towards the bottom of the head. Incidentally, that head is about 1/3 of a finger, and I would definitely say that it's a perfect white head in this one. It looks very nice. This beer pretty much looks exactly as you would expect from a sort of lager Pilsner type beer, this one. So it's definitely a Pils rather than a Helles lager or a Dunkel lager or anything like this. So yeah, let's have a look at the aroma then and just see how we got on. Nothing surprising about this beer in terms of its appearance. Oh yeah, that comes across really nicely. I mean, it's one of the things, you really have, when you're talking about a lager beer and a Pilsner, you know, you really have to kind of talk a little bit about the macro lagers, because you can really smell the difference between a beer like this, which uses all the German malts and, you know, sticks to the purity law, and, you know, some of the big just macro produced things that you're going to get. It just smells a hell of a lot better, and you can tell there's quality in there. I will be guessing they're using Weirmann malts from Bamberg or something like that in here, particularly considering Petra's connection to the Bamberg area. But you can really smell that lovely, just smooth German malty quality to this one. I absolutely love it. And I really think these German styles of beer, the Pilsners, the lagers, the Helles Dunkels and Doppelbocks and things like that, and the Weiss beers as well, they're really underrated. Everyone's going for IPAs these days, but the German beer styles are, you know, they really are very, very good. And so it'd be awesome to take these styles and, you know, try them with the American hops, the New Zealand hops and things like this. It's just a shame they've not been experimented with a little bit more. But yeah, this comes across really nicely. I mean, straight away you're going to get that lovely pale malty quality, just blanket in the middle of the tongue. You can smell a little bit of that sort of Pilsner malt quality in there as well. You can get that nice biscuity sweetness also, which is really good. I mean, there's nothing surprising about this beer in terms of its aroma, to be honest with you. It's just, you know, it does smell quality, basically. You can really smell the quality in this beer. So yeah, pale malts, you can definitely pick up a little bit of the crispness out of the aroma here from the Pilsner malt, a little bit of biscuity quality, as I said. On the hoppy side of things, it's typical sort of Hallertau, Tittnanger, noble hops that you're getting out of this beer. You can smell a little bit of that almost sweet earthiness, some of the nice floral aromaticity as well, and it's lighter and grassy on the front of the nose, and you've also got a little bit of a sort of peary, appley ester to this one too, and also some of those kind of, it's not quite lemony, but that sort of grassy, fruity ester that you associate with those German noble hops as well. And of course you've got the Czech Žatec Sats hop, and also the you've got a few hops from Poland too, like Lubelski and things that give you similar things, and also the Styrian Goldings from Slovenia too. So it's interesting that. But yeah, a lovely smelling beer, this one. It really smells pretty much exactly as you would expect from a German brewed lager beer. It has the lovely hoppy notes, the distinctive noble qualities, and a nice sort of smooth and slightly sweet malt base to it. So yeah, as I say, not the most complex of aromas that you're going to come across from craft beers. The Pilsner's never been like that though, but this one to me smells like a very, very good sort of Pilsner style beer. So really looking forward to trying this one again. So let's just, you know, get stuck into it. My brain's waffling a little bit. So a lager beer, the St Mungo lager at 4.9% from West Brewery on West in the Green through in Glasgow. Let's get stuck into this one. Slàinte, skål, cheers. Yeah, that's really pretty nice actually. One thing I will say that I'm noticing about this beer, it does feel a little bit fuller if you drink it on tap. There's just some of the malts feel, I remember the malts being a little bit bigger than this, and I think this, if I remember correctly, the St Mungo was the first of the 5 beers that I tried in my little brewery visit video, and I remember it feeling just a little bit thicker than this, to be honest with you. But yeah. But yeah, this is really good. I mean, you know, if I was wanting a few beers from the summer, I'd definitely buy, you know, a 6-pack of this or something. To me, this is a really, really solid and really authentic Pilsner style beer. The Pilsner, of course, the very first Pilsner beer was Pilsner Urquell, which was brewed in the Czech Republic, which was at that time part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but it was brewed by a German brewer. I think he was actually Bavarian rather than an ethnic German, in what is now the Czech Republic, of course. So in some ways it is a German style of beer, the Pilsner, but it is a style that's native to the Czech Republic, the Pilsen, which is where it takes the name from. But yeah, so really nice, just crisp, refreshing beer, this one. So let's try and break the flavour of this beer down a little bit for you then. So in the middle of your palate, you can really feel that pale malty quality just blank at the middle of the tongue. On top of that though, you start to get the Pilsner malts, which give you the nice kind of crispness that you expect from the beer. And if you go to the very, very centre of your palate, that's where you get the kind of biscuity sweetness out of this one. And it's quite a sharp biscuity sweetness, to be honest with you, as well. It reminds me a little bit of McVitie's Digestives, but it also comes across as being just a little bit kind of the way that the alcohol is kind of coming out in this beer, it really just gives you the impression of being a little bit sort of corn syrupy or something like that. You always get that from beers, like alcohol. The ethanol flavours that you'll get out of any beer do come across as almost caramelly and sweet, to be honest, and that's what's really giving you the impression of a little bit of an almost corn syrupy flavour in the middle of the palate, or biscuit syrup. So yeah, as I say, pale malt underneath, the crispness of the Pilsner malt on top of that, the sort of biscuity sweetness in the middle of the tongue too, and you can really feel the alcohol flavours kind of giving you that almost corn syrupy note that's in the centre of the beer too, but really nice and authentic malt base on this one, so thumbs up to them for that. But yeah, I really like how this one goes together. On the hoppy side of things then, back corners of the palate, you get that lovely slightly sweet earthiness that you would associate with the German noble hops, the Hallertau and the Tittnanger. You can really feel that. It spreads forward a little bit and it just kind of smoothens out. As you get towards the front corners of the palate, you've got a nice sort of floral aromaticity to this beer as well. It's a little bit It's not even quite spicy, it's just really nice and very kind of light. But then round the front curve of the palate, it's a lot lighter than that, and you start to get these more kind of grassy flavours out of the beer, which is really nice. So yeah, but just behind the front curve of the palate, of course, that's where you get that oily bubble, where the juicy, fruity esters start to come out of the beer. And again, this is quite, it is kind of what you would expect from the aroma, to be honest. At the front of that oily bubble, you've got the more grassy, almost slightly lemony, fruity esters out of the beer. But then as you move further back a bit, that's when you start to get these it's almost a little bit apple-y, kind of peary and things like that. But the further you go into the aftertaste, the more it's the kind of grassy, slightly lemony esters that it's more lemon limey, to be honest. It's those kind of grassy, fruity esters that just push their way out of the beer a little bit more than that. But overall, you know, in terms of flavour and things like that, it's a really, really nice Pilsner beer, this one, and really quite authentic. So in terms of the mouthfeel, I would say that this beer is quite light-bodied. Carbonation's really smooth in this one. Well, it's actually more crisp. I think I've told you a lie there. It's more of a crisp carbonation you get out of this beer. I would say overall the mouthfeel of this beer is a mixture between crisp and wet. You've got a good little bit of smoothness and sweetness from the malt base in this, mainly quite smooth though, which is kind of what you would expect from a Pilsner and indeed a German style beer. Good little bit of hoppy bitterness. I would say we're talking about 30 IBUs with this one. Some nice floral aromatic notes that really linger into the aftertaste there. And of course you've got a little bit of a kind of fruity quality to this one as well, the sort of grassy esters and also those sort of orchardy fruits, if you like. But overall, a really, really nice Pilsner beer and very, very authentic, and you can't really ask for much more than that, of course. So big thumbs up to the guys at West Brewing for this one. They've done a great job of it, and it's you can see why this is their flagship beer. Actually, this is a good gateway beer for people moving from the macro lagers into into something just a bit more adventurous, to be honest with you. But like I say, very cool to have a German style brewery here in Scotland. And of course you've got 6 degrees north up in the northeast of the country who are doing the Belgian style beers. Maybe we'll have a Czech style brewery at some point as well. But yeah, let's leave it at that for this one. This one is the St Mungo Lager at 4.9%, a lovely authentic German style Pilsner beer from West Brewery through on West in the Green in Glasgow. Really interesting stuff, and glad that I was able to do a proper sit down review of this beer for you. So make sure you try this one if you're into your lager beers. Hopefully I can get Peter the Clueless Drinker to review a couple of these at some point too. But let's leave it at that. Once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from West Brewery as well. I'm sure I'll return to these guys at some point in the future. I want to have a go at their Munich Red, and hopefully there's a Rauch beer and a Doppelbock for me to review at some point too. But thank you again for watching. Make sure you check out my social media, check out the West Brewery, and I hope you've enjoyed my take on this beer. Until the next time, Slanger just now, and I'll catch you guys later. The St Mungo Lager beer at 4.9% from West Brewery through in Glasgow. Slanger, Skål, Prost.